Like, I always been a healing mother type of energy. Like, I would sense the sadness in somebody, and I always would try to make light out of their situation, even though like I got my own problems too. And just me being a Gemini, like I always treated my friends with loyalty and my relationships with loyalty, especially if I played you close to me, if I opened up to you and showed you sides to me that a lot of people never got to see. I would always like just keep it real. But it was like at a time in my life I wasn't like attracting people who were the same as me, and I'm not saying like they had to, you know, move like me, but what I'm saying is the loyalty wise. But before I get deeply involved in the conversation of false friendship and sisterhood, I'm gonna kind of bring up the abuse story with my exes. Like how I would always attract, like it was a time in my life like I would always like fall for the ones who had a little aggression to them or were mysterious men. But what I mean by that is like before they came to me, they didn't come showing me their narcissistic ways. They they showed somewhat of aggression to kind of like what I used to think it was them trying to set their dominance to show that they could be the leader, they could be the man in the relationship. That's what I used to think the aggression was, okay? But I realized that it really wasn't. They were trying to control me, they were trying to own me, they were trying to keep me like Tangled. You know the princess movie Tangled, how she was locked up in a castle and she had to oh my bad, Rapunzel. Rapunzel, let down your hair. How she had to like let down her hair just to even like be able to have somebody come up there to the castle. So that's how I felt. I felt like I was Rapunzel. Rapunzel, let down your hair. I was in the castle because they were trying to hide me, keep me away from my talents, and just act like they're supporting me, but really not. They would really try to create like confusion in my mind because I've always been a spiritual, unique type of child and a woman growing up. Because when I was really younger, like I went to Walmart with my grandmother and I was about around like 4 or 5, and I remember Walmart used to sell voodoo dolls. So I seen it and I was grabbing it and I was playing with it and stuff, and I showed my grandma. I was like, look at this. Look. I was like, this is mad cool. She was like, oh, where? Let me see. And you know, I'm just a kid. I go back playing, you know, after I gave her the toy, I went back playing and stuff like that. But then like she threw it out because you know, my grandma and stuff like that, she wasn't with that at the time. She was really viewing that as evil and stuff. So but I didn't even know what type of doll that was. I was just grabbing it and I was playing with it around in the store, and she was like, you know, put that shit back. But it was like she said it without saying it, because right after she kind of threw the toy away, like I forgot about it because I was a kid. But I asked myself, why do I remember that memory, that pure memory like that? Like, why is it embedded in my mind? It must have shifted something in my mind and my brain, like to where like I would never forget it. But like when I was a young girl, I used to long for like divine union and tribe. Like I believe when I came out the womb, I was already sad, not for me, but for the ancestors before me. And that's real deep, because I just felt like out of place, misplaced, as you can say. And then me just being a different kid and just roaming the world in a different way, I always felt just different. So I had this something in my soul that I was longing for since I came out the womb. So then me opening up to dating men in my teens, in my adolescence, when I really started being attracted to men, that's what I came in the relationship with, longing for something. Like it was like a fix, but it was like a fix that I wanted to just have. Like how I used to be in my past life, I was always surrounded by love, and I always had a tribe, or I was in the nomadic energy with other individuals. So I come from a time where if you need sugar, I got you. Like you could just knock on somebody's door. Or I come from the time where we roam together as a tribe. And that's what I came out the womb longing for, before I can even understand my emotions. All right, y'all, I came back inside because I started feeling like pukey, because I'm, you know, my period about to come in, stuff like that. So sometimes I be feeling like I'm about to be birthing a child. If you know, you know, man. But let's get to the nitty gritty of what's going on. So while I straighten my hair, we're going to continue to talk. So I was literally attracting a lot of people. Mind you, I still to this day attract a lot of individuals, but I think my hardest lessons that I had to like learn and really had to go through it to understand was that you should never tolerate abuse for love. You shouldn't struggle or feel like you gotta give a part of yourself just to hold the peace. And what I mean by that is to be in a house with somebody and feel like you can't truly be yourself, or you gotta lower yourself down or do certain things, be quiet and shut your mouth just to keep the peace, is never something that's good for the soul. And it actually brings a lot of like mental health like issues because of that, especially when you're not truly, you know, you're tolerating something that you know isn't right for you, but you think it's because of love. You shouldn't have to struggle for love. You shouldn't have to feel pain to know that you're in a loving relationship. It shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't have to suffer and sacrifice and go through this hell just to prove that you love someone. So in the beginning of my relationships, it started off with me just having situationships before I could even understand what that word was. And it was like little boys that weren't really ready for a relationship, but I was, because like I said, I came out the womb ready for a family, ready to be loved and ready to unify with people. But I was way before my time, and a lot of boys during that time, because at the time they were boys and I was a girl, they was not ready for a relationship, and they saw that loyalty in me, that longing in me, and instead of, you know, helping me and, you know, being a supportive system to me, they decided to add on to the pack, which was use my uniqueness and my loving energy and my soul vibes against me by trying to tell me subconsciously, without even really saying it with their mouth, that I don't belong. Or, you know, I'm too deep for my age. I'm too deep is what they'll say. I'm too deep at that time. Like, I remember this first dude, right, that I really was I felt like I was in a relationship with, but I was never in a relationship with him. Like, it was never that. It was never what I thought. But I used to literally cry every day in high school and just go to the bathroom, right? And just cry because I would see them like flirting with girls and treating me like I'm nothing. And now I'm gonna keep it real with you. At the beginning, in me in middle school, I was still learning like boys. I was still really learning things, so I wasn't sure if the right person was the right person for me. So I happened to mess with his friend, but we weren't even together in the beginning. We were just talking. But I was with his friend before I was even with him, because when I transferred from middle school to high school, I met him in high school, and he was like a junior and I was a freshman. wrong idea. For high schoolers that's watching, please do not, you know, date anybody on a higher grade unless you know that they real right with you. You feel me? But you remember Kick? K-I-K, Kick. So it came about that I was messing with both of them, but it really wasn't like that. Like, I was leaving that relationship with the middle schooler because I was realizing all he wanted was just to touch up on me and stuff like that. Like, he wasn't really trying to lock in. Like, that was the first person I ever smoked weed with, aside from my cousin. But it came out, you know, there was immature little boys. So like, ever since then, I believe he started treating me like ish. But I believe already he had that in him before that even occurred, because of the simple fact that he was older than me in grade and in age. So that only amplified his tactics to, you know, taunt me. You know what I'm saying? But then going into now, I'm beginning to be a woman. You know, I'm leaving out the house. I'm out of high school. I started really going out there, and it was like I wasn't like a desperate type of girl to be going out there looking for men and stuff like that. No, I was living my life. As a neurodivergent I am, as a Gemini spirit I am, I was having fun living my life. And then I ran across those NPC controlling men. those red pill type of men, you know what I'm saying? And that was it, you know what I'm saying? But what really opened me up to really know that I never want to deal with no abuse again is back in 2024.
You're a liar. Do not put your hands on me.
I will never put myself in this situation again, no matter how much I love somebody. Even though they the ones talking bad to me about my mother, whether what she did or not, and not telling me who she truly is, not giving me any information on her family and where I come from, or even a little bit of information that they might know that I might not know, because of course I wasn't born during the time that my mother had me until she had me. So yeah, I had a connection with her before I can even have a connection with her. That played a big factor into my relationships too, and why I literally was taking this type of abuse and dealing with red pill men who really didn't understand my spirituality and my uniqueness and my whimsical side. So not having that mother at the time, it did hurt and it did affect. And a lot of people used to always say I was trying to be fast and be grown and do this and do that, because I just wanted to be a loving, beautiful, free-spirited, growing girl. Like, nobody ever really told me like certain things, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel what I'm saying? I had to learn a lot of stuff on my own, because everybody was just too busy with their own kids, my aunts and uncles. Everybody was just too busy with their own problems, their own life. Nobody really stopped to realize, like, damn, maybe she acting out, or maybe, maybe she's just expressing herself because, in a way, like, she's just a grown woman. She want to, be beautiful and stuff like that, and she misses her mother too at that. So it's like, and mind you, I wasn't really even a bad kid for real. Like, I was the type of kid to never ask or want for something, because I didn't want to be a burden, you feel me? Like, I felt like them just like having me was just a burden enough, because where's my mother? Like, everybody having a Mother's Day and everybody celebrating everybody's child's birthday and stuff like that, but I feel like it ain't that much hype for mine. And you know what I'm saying, everybody going to my cousins' games and supporting them, but where's the support when I need somebody at my drill team practice, or if I need a ride to go somewhere, you feel me? But I had to really heal from that too, you know what I'm saying? So I came a long way from this healing journey, and I'm still on my healing journey, you feel me? And I ain't afraid to wear my heart on my sleeves, and I ain't afraid to tell it like it is. I tell it like it is, no matter what, who mad or who not, you feel me? This is my story. This is what I had to grow in. And then a lot of the times, like, growing up, they would, like, have group chats and stuff, and they'll always be talking about me and stuff and certain things like that. Not everybody in the family, but, like, majority, like, if I just wanted to just go out somewhere with a friend, or just, in general, like, just do certain things, it'll always be talked about in the group chat before it can actually be talked about to me, and it would be never no privacy for what I had to say back to it, because they went to go tell everybody in the family, because I'm the one without the mother and stuff like that, you feel me? Like, so all my business just get, I felt like, when my cousins and everybody, they would talk to their mom, it'll be confidentiality, because that's their mother. The mother not gonna go back and tell the family and stuff like that. But with me, I felt like all my business was played out on the table. Nobody gave a fuck. And then at the time, like, that shit was deep, you feel me? Like, but at the same time, like, I didn't allow my circumstances or what I went through or what I overcame to get in the way of me. And I never allowed, the negative talks about me to, allow me to just be stuck in trying to please people. So we're gonna get to the friendship and how I was attracting at a time in my life just women who had mother issues and stuff like that. But it was like, they was not really like trying to gain sisterhood, and they didn't, I was on some stuff like, if I win, I want you to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna be celebrities together. Like, you know what I'm saying? We might be going through a wound together, but we gonna heal together. But I always felt like the women that I was attracted in my life was not on that type of time, and they was just greedy. They wanted to be around my energy, but they didn't want to heal. They didn't want to learn to heal. And, in a certain type of way, they was always probably just thinking and wondering why I'm always smiling and stuff while I'm going through certain things. Why am I so happy and joyful when I don't have my mom? And I really feel like a lot of them used to think that, like, why is she always the light of the room? Why she always smiling? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't sad that her mom not here. Why she always smiling and acting like ain't nothing wrong with her? You feel me? I'm really a deep person. I'm really deep. And that's what makes me so overly understanding. And that's why a lot of people tried to cross me. But one thing about me is I'm a dark empath. I could be empathetic. I could feel you. But just know I used to mirror people back their bad behavior just to show them that this is not okay. This is how you made me feel. And now I transmute that. Instead of trying to mirror them, I transmute it and I send that energy back to them instead of me trying to just mirror them back and show them that this is not how you do it, because I don't want to keep that energy on me. You feel me? That don't belong to me. That belongs to you. The reason for me really telling y'all this story like this is because this is what I've overcame. This is what I'm healing from still, and where I'm transmuting this energy and I'm releasing it because it no longer like serves me. I don't have to keep this baggage and this burden. I don't feel abandoned anymore. Because I've came to terms with it's not a lot of things I know about my mother. You know, maybe she was struggling. Maybe I don't really know her like that. You know, she had her reasons. So I'm maturing. You know what I'm saying? I'm maturing and I'm really seeing things from different perceptions. And I'm releasing, I'm crying, I'm letting things out, you know, behind the scenes, because that's the real shadow work. I don't get around people just to use them and manipulate them or use them for their car or try to shit on other girls or try to make them feel less than because I felt less than at a time in my life. Why would I do that? But for others, they can't say the same. You know what I'm saying? They can't question that. A lot of people don't want to sit down with themselves and actually do some shadow work because that shit hurt and it's not easy. But it's better to do that shadow work than to be out here treating people like crap and constantly getting karma sent to you. It's all them NPC relationships that I was in, shawty, like, it made me who I am today. I felt like I got initiated through pain. I had to learn. I had to know that this is what I will never deal with. I'm not repeating the cycle of my ancestors. I'm not struggling just for love. I'm not doing that no more. This time around in this lifetime, I'd rather be in pain and release it and build up than to go with what I'm comfortable with or what I've always known. But this is not what I've always known. It's just, this is what I was shown to. This is what I saw. It all starts at the house. If I had to learn, like, it's okay to cry. It don't make you weak. It actually make you powerful. And it's okay if people leave your life. You're not a bandit. It's just, it was their time to go. They wasn't meant to go to the higher ranks with you. They was meant to go on a path. A lot of people ain't meant to, you know, go up with you. So as you want to, like, come up, a lot of people ain't meant to come with you. And it's going to be the ones that you love the most that you feel that way about. But at the end of the day, that's why you got to love them from a distance. But don't ever put yourself in a situation where you got to, like, deal with other people's trauma and generational curses just because you love them. Let them feel like you walked away, period. Let them feel like you abandoned them. You did what was right for you. You stepped away from the pack because it wasn't serving you. Every time you was let down. Every time. And then sometimes some people is just meant to come in your life for a season. It was meant to show you something. It was meant to get you out of something. Like, they was meant to help you with something. And that's about it. You feel me? But what I had to learn is I got to detach from everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a lover. I'm still a dark empath. I'm still spiritual. I still love y'all. But if y'all not serving me to my highest, utmost, like how I view myself now, I view myself as a goddess. And if y'all still try to treat me like I'm just this little girl that you once knew, you gotta go, because you're not about to bring me back to a timeline I already conquered. I had to become the fool so that I can learn what I never will deal with, so that I can tell y'all about it, so that I can warn y'all about it, so that I can let y'all know y'all not alone. I had to go through that just so that I could have that experience, so that I could talk about it, because there's somebody else that is probably going through everything I was talking about my old life. They probably going through that right now. I'm in a newer timeline, but people, parallel worlds, you feel me? A lot of us live the same lives, just different worlds. You know what I'm saying? It's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm here to talk about it because I'm freeing myself from that wound, because I'm maturing in a way that a lot of people are not going to understand, that don't want to understand. But I'm not here to make you understand me. I'm just here to be witnessed. And like in my last story, I literally told you guys, like, if you scroll down a little bit longer on my story, I talked about how the time my ex-boyfriend, it was another one, he tried to sacrifice me, you feel me? And it's a whole music video out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was prepping it. Because y'all know the Celeste and D4VD case? I actually lived through that too. And that's how I know that sacrificing stuff is real. Until this day, I can never forget that memory. And I'm still healing from that. But I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a victim, you know, I'm a survivor, you know what I'm saying? And just be careful out here, because a lot of people don't have your best interests at heart, or they try to keep you stuck with them, or try to make you feel like you're not the one, you're not the chosen one, you're not a star, you know what I'm saying? Nah, you don't gotta do that, baby. Just understand. And I probably would do another story time about that situation, but I'm gonna do it on a day that I feel a little bit lighter, you know what I'm saying? Because right now I'm just releasing a lot of stuff that no longer serve me, because of course my brain can sometimes go back to those past moments of abuse, those past moments of feeling abandoned, those past moments of you know, in relationships that didn't serve me. My brain can go there sometimes, but it's all on me to transmute that, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna do that at all times. Hi babies. So I'm almost done with it, like definitely almost done. I was on Facebook Live while I finished the half head. So Facebook was with me and stuff, rocking with the kid. But yeah, babies, I definitely love you guys so much, and I just want to share my story and my experiences with you guys, because I want you guys to know that you can make it through anything. Anything can be anything is possible, for real. Even when you came from circumstances that try to dim you, or whatever the case may be, like anything is possible. You can overcome, and you can conquer your past. Like, you're not tied to your past. You are not your past, okay?